The case for today is Harish Rana versus Union of India 2026. Harish Rana was a 32-year-old man who had been in a permanent vegetative state for over 13 years following a traumatic brain injury sustained in August 2013 when he fell from the fourth floor of his paying guest accommodation near Punjab University, Chandigarh. The injury resulted in irreversible brain damage and complete paralysis of all four limbs, leaving him dependent on others for all care without meaningful awareness or voluntary interaction. After initial hospital treatment, he was sustained entirely through clinically assisted nutrition and hydration administered via a surgically placed feeding tube and a tracheostomy tube for breathing. His family bore the extensive care costs and emotional burden for over a decade, with no improvement in his condition recorded by medical professionals. In 2024, his parents filed a petition in the Delhi High Court seeking permission to withdraw life sustaining treatment under India's passive euthanasia framework. The Delhi High Court dismissed the plea, reasoning that Harish was not on mechanical ventilation and his condition did not fall within the narrow interpretation of terminal illness under existing guidelines. The Delhi High Court also held that removing the feeding tube would amount to starvation rather than withdrawal of medical treatment, likening it to active euthanasia, which remains unlawful in India. Following this, the family approached the Supreme Court of India. In 2025, the Supreme Court of India directed the constitution of a primary medical board which confirmed irreversible brain damage and permanent vegetative state. A secondary medical board at AIIMS, New Delhi also concluded that chances of neurological recovery were negligible, that Harish exhibited no meaningful interaction, and that continued clinically assisted nutrition and hydration only maintained biological existence without therapeutic benefit. Both boards, along with the family, unanimously concluded that withdrawal of life sustaining treatment was appropriate. The Supreme Court of India heard the matter with final arguments reserved on 15th of January 2026 and on 11th of March 2026 delivered its landmark judgment. This case became the first implementation in India of a court-approved passive euthanasia order under the framework established by previous Supreme Court jurisprudence on the right to die with dignity, that is Common Cause versus Union of India. Issues: 1. Whether clinically assisted nutrition and hydration provided through medical devices constitutes medical treatment that can be lawfully withdrawn under the passive euthanasia framework. 2. Whether withdrawal of life-sustaining treatment is permissible for a patient in a permanent vegetative state who has not executed an advance medical directive. 3. What constitutional and procedural safeguards are necessary to balance the right to die with dignity under Article 21 of the Constitution of India with protection against misuse? Judgment: the Supreme Court of India held that clinically assisted nutrition and hydration administered through feeding tubes is medical treatment and may lawfully be withdrawn under the passive euthanasia framework when it no longer serves a therapeutic purpose and only prolongs biological existence without hope of recovery. The Honorable Court expressly overruled the narrow reasoning of the Delhi High Court that such withdrawal would constitute starvation, clarifying that medically administered nutrition and hydration fall within the scope of medical interventions subject to passive euthanasia principles. The Honorable Court reaffirmed that the right to life with dignity under Article 21 of the Constitution of India includes the right not to be artificially kept alive when there is no meaningful purpose of recovery, and that continuing life sustaining treatment in such circumstances undermines dignity rather than upholds it. Because Harish had not created an advance medical directive, the Supreme Court of India permitted surrogate decision making by his next of kin, that is, his parents, in conjunction with the unanimous recommendations of both medical boards, and clarified that neither the family nor treating physicians would incur criminal liability under the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 while implementing the order. The Honorable Court directed Harish's transfer to the Palliative Care Department of AIIMS, New Delhi, and ordered that the withdrawal of treatment be conducted humanly with active management of pain and symptoms. It also waived the mandatory 30-day reconsideration period previously prescribed under procedural guidelines, given the prolonged irreversible nature of his condition. The judgment is recognized as the first practical implementation in India of a passive euthanasia order for an individual, clarifying that patients sustained solely through nutritional and hydration interventions remain eligible under the passive euthanasia framework, and strengthening the practical application of the right to die with dignity. Thank you.